Luke chapter 9. And he called the 12 together, and gave them power and authority over all demons, and to cure diseases. And he sent them forth to preach the kingdom of the God, and to heal the sick. And he said to them, Take nothing for your journey, neither staff, nor wallet, nor bread, nor money, neither have 2 coats. And into whatsoever house ye enter, there abide, and thence depart. And as many as receive you not, when ye depart from that city, shake off the dust from your feet for a testimony against them. And they departed, and went throughout the villages, preaching the announcement, and healing everywhere. Now Herod the Tetrarch heard of all that was done, and he was much perplexed, because that it was said by some that Johanan was risen out of dead ones, and by some that Eliyahu had appeared, and by others that one of the old prophets was risen again. And Herod said, Johanan I beheaded, but who is this about whom I hear such things? And he sought to see him. And the sent ones, when they were returned, declared to him what things they had done. And he took them, and withdrew apart to a city called Bethsaida. But the multitudes, perceiving it, followed him. And he welcomed them, and spoke to them of the kingdom of the God. And them that had need of healing he cured. And the day began to wear away. And the 12 came and said to him, Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and country round about, and lodge, and get provisions, for we are here in a desert place. But he said to them, Give ye them to eat. And they said, We have no more than 5 loaves and 2 fishes, except we should go and buy food for all this people, for they were about 5,000 men. And he said to his disciples, Make them recline in companies, about 50 each. And they did so. And he made them all recline. And he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up into the sky, he blessed them, and broke, and gave to the disciples to set before the multitude. And they ate, and were all filled. And there was taken up that which remained over to them of broken pieces, 12 baskets. And it was, as he was praying apart, the disciples were with him, and he asked them, saying, Who do the multitude say that I am? And they, answering, said, Johann the Baptist, the baptizer. But others say, Eliyahu, and others, that one of the old prophets is risen again. And he said to them, But who say ye that I am? And Petro answering said, The anointed of God. But he charged them and commanded them to tell this to no man, saying, The Son of the Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the 3rd day be raised up. And he said to all, If any man would come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross daily, and follow me. For whosoever would save his soul shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his soul for my sake, the same shall save it. For what is a man profited, if he gain the whole world, and lose or forfeit his own soul? For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in his own glory, and the glory of his Father, and of the holy messengers. But I tell you of a truth, there are some of them that stand here, who shall certainly not taste death, till they see the kingdom of the God. And it was about 8 days after these sayings, that he took with him Petro and Johanan and Jacobus, and went up into the mountain to pray. And as he was praying, the fashion of his countenance was altered, and his raiment became white and dazzling. And behold, there talked with him 2 men, who were Moshe and Eliah, who appeared in glory, and spoke of his decease, which he was about to accomplish at Jerusalem. Now Petro and they that were with him were heavy with sleep. But when they were fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men that stood with him. And it was, as they were parting from him, Petro said to Yeshua, Master, it is good for us to be here, and let us make 3 booths, one for thee, and one for Moshe, and one for Eliah, not knowing what he said. And while he said these things, there came a cloud, and overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. And a voice came out of the cloud, saying, This is my Son, my chosen, hear ye him. And when the voice came, Yeshua was found alone, and they held their peace, and told no man in those days any of the things which they had seen. And it was on the next day, when they were come down from the mountain, a great multitude met him. And behold, a man from the multitude cried, saying, Teacher, I beseech thee to look upon my son, for he is my only child. And behold, a spirit taketh him, and he suddenly crieth out, and it teareth him, that he foameth, and it hardly departeth from him, bruising him sorely. And I besought thy disciples to cast it out, and they could not. And Yeshua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you, and bear with you? Bring hither thy son. And as he was yet a-coming, the demon dashed him down, and tore him grievously. But Yeshua rebuked the unclean spirit, and healed the boy, and gave him back to his father. And they were all astonished at the majesty of God. But while all were marveling at the things which he did, he said to his disciples, Let these words sink into your ears. For the Son of the Man shall be delivered up into the hands of men. But they understood not this saying, and it was concealed from them, that they should not perceive it. And they were afraid to ask him about this saying. And there arose a reasoning among them, which of them was the greatest. But when Yeshua saw the reasoning of their heart, he took a little child, and set him by his side, and said to him, Whosoever shall receive this little child in my name receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me receiveth him that sent me. For he that is least among you all, the same is great. And Yohanan answered and said, Master, we saw one casting out demons in thy name, and we forbade him, because he followeth not with us. But Yeshua said to him, Forbid him not, for he that is not against you is for you. And it was, when the days were being filled together, that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem, and sent messengers before his face. And they went and entered into a village of the Samaritans, to make ready for him. And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he were going to Jerusalem. And when his disciples Jacob and Yohanan saw this, they said, Lord, wilt thou that we bid fire come down from the sky and consume them? But he turned and rebuked them. And they went to another village. And as they went on the way, a certain man said to him, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Yeshua said to him, The foxes have holes, and the birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of the Man hath not where to lay his head. And he said to another, Follow me. But he said, Lord, permit me first to go and bury my father. But he said to him, Leave the dead to bury their own dead, but go thou and publish abroad the kingdom of the God. And another also said, I will follow thee, Lord, but first permit me to bid farewell to them that are at my house. But Yeshua said to him, No man, having put his hand to the plough, and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of the God.